Holy shit snacks. My dog just scared the crap out of me. Okay, we're done now. Hi! Welcome back. We are continuing our watch of the Winchesters. I honestly don't know if this is still a good idea, but it is what it is. Here we are. We're doing it. In our previous episode, it was the pilot. We got to meet our kind of central cast of characters. We had John, Mary, Carlos, and the one girl whose name I can't remember, which makes me feel bad. But on the plus side, it was confirmed by the actor themselves that Carlos is a non-binary queer character played by a non-binary actor. So, very exciting. We actually have some gays in the supernatural universe. Now, hopefully, they don't die. Because the supernatural universe has a very, very bad tendency of killing its gays. Both as like red shirts, like they introduce them and then immediately throw them away. As well as genuine bury your gay tropes. But yeah, so the end of the previous episode, we sort of had our central crew talking about the looming threat of the kind of apparent big bad of the season. So we'll see if we get more into that. But other than that, I think it's just a matter of getting into it. Editing Haley here. Because of things like copyright, you're not going to see much of the episodes. These videos are mostly just me talking some absolute nonsense. Apparently my dog has some feelings about this. Well, this is very midsummer. I say as if I've watched that movie.
I'm telling you, my third eye is open after today's circle. We were like dolls. You know the Russian ones? Trapped inside our parents and our parents' parents.
Circle's over, Barry. Time to relax. See where the night goes.
This man is very high and is wandering into the woods.
What's that?
I knew this stuff was laced.
Are they suggesting that they weren't consciously doing drugs? They were definitely consciously doing drugs.
It's time to go home, son. It's too late. I'm letting you go. I said it's time.
Oh, boy got choked out by some trees. Okay.
The ties that bind a family together can be complicated. Parents raise you, teach you what's right and wrong, and in some instances, how to kill monsters. There comes a time when you have to break from them and make your own way.
How did that end your dad's trail?
This all went down recently. See if the men and letters files about the Akrita are here.
File cabinets are all empty. If there was information about the Akrita, it's gone.
Because my dad already has it.
I see. It's Samuel Campbell.
But why wouldn't he wait for us or try to contact you, Mary?
This is his way of contacting me.
What are you talking about?
Okay. Oh. Interesting. They're already writing out why things would or wouldn't work. John. Fucking look alive, bud.
It's a news story. A father said his kid Barry Smith went missing in Topeka, Kansas due to mysterious circumstances.
Come on, Meg, your dad came here for the same reason that we did. To find the men of letters files and talk about our good friend, the Akrita.
Yeah, and whatever he found must have made him think that this is connected to them.
Or he just wants us off his tail.
Ada, you set up shop in the clubhouse and dig into fixing this box. The rest of us will talk to this kid's dad and see what's going on.
So you're just making decisions for everyone now.
I'm doing whatever it takes to find him.
At least lack of communication is still consistent.
Hey, you okay?
In the war, I was a scout. My job was to find things. Striking out the last couple weeks looking for your dad,
In the Marines, did you learn how to be a scout overnight? You did good back there.
I guess I'm lucky that I have such a good teacher.
Real smooth.
Just give me a sec.
We had a deal. You promised to come home. Instead, it's your dad all over again. I waited for a call, a single call. And when the phone finally rang, you know who it was? Betty. I spent the last week with your father's things. His whole life reduced to a box. Is that all I'm gonna have left of you two?
You don't think I can do this? That's what this is about.
What? What?
Nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. I think I just prefer the less talky, more punchy side of hunting. You're not serious. I'm Mick Fleetwood.
We've got our rock star aliases back.
Did you hear John's mum back at the garage? She mentioned someone named Betty. Gotta be an ex, right? Hey! You love gossip, what's wrong? You've been off since Savannah.
Okay, I want to find Samuel, I do, but I'm used to being the only one on stage, you know?
Never been on the stage.
Yeah, because you're built for a band, Lotta. I'm not. Especially when Mary's on lead vocals. She only knows how to sing Samuel's song.
So, no sign of my dad or the Agrita, but there is a case here. Our missing kid Barry got caught up with this girl named Maya, and she took him to this commune called Harper's Ranch. She said she saw Barry get taken by some kind of monster.
Monster, you say?
A commune, you say?
I love Carlos. They're great. So good.
Because we're going undercover in a damn commune.
Excellent. Honestly, costuming is not terrible. In the first episode, there were definitely a couple of instances of sort of like, what is the costuming situation here? Like, what era are you going for? Because a lot of it wasn't so out of place that it was jarring, but also did not feel as accurate as it could have felt. But like, this episode, obviously, like, there's a very specific aesthetic that they're going for, and I think they lean into it quite well.
We're always happy to welcome new members, eager to do the hard work they need to change.
Yeah, what kind of work is that?
Also, that dress is very reminiscent of the dress, like the nightgown that Mary dies in, and that hurts my heart.
Shedding your past, like your skin, especially the people who hurt you. For me, it was Sister Bernadette at St. Nicholas's orphanage. But for most people, it's their parents. Well, make yourself.
Okay, so the 3 spiral. Try. It's got a name. I want to see if I can figure out what the ghoulie is.
Excuse me. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself earlier.
Right. One of John's new friends.
Is that the Men of Letters symbol?
John just needs time.
You learn all that after 1 week on the road with my son?
Learned all that from his father. Won't take up any more of your time. Wanted to give you this.
What is this?
It's the number and address of the motel where John and the others are staying. It's peace of mind.
It's Celtic. Symbol for...
Transformation. Maya said Barry saw his father, but Maya saw some creature.
Maybe we're dealing with a shapeshifter.
Or these kids were just high.
Why is Carlos being so dismissive? He was so on board earlier.
But if it's Clyde, we need to find him before he shifts into another person. Or takes another victim.
You know, it's not easy to make the break, even for me. It's part of the journey we all must take.
This man makes me concernicus.
Do you see that?
See what?
Nun in the woods. Never a good time. Never run towards the nun in the woods.
Clyde?
Okay. Okay. Alright, so this is very fae. They're giving off a very fae vibe. Because it looked like there was a ring. Like a fairy ring, like a fairy trap. And it's Celtic, so that would make sense. Okay, I think we're probably dealing with the fae of some variety. We'll see. We'll see, we'll see.
Any tips on how to hunt something that can look like anything?
No shapeshifter is perfect. So you have to look for any slip-ups in behavior. And if that doesn't work, the part where they're trying to kill you is usually the giveaway, so.
Great, yeah, no, I'll have to thank your dad for that one. You make quite the pair, huh? Can't find one of your parents. Can't seem to get my mom off my back.
Wow, what she said really got under your skin, huh?
And what if she's right? What if I'm not cut out to be on her? It's my life, not hers. Mayor! Come here, we got something. We found her wandering in a daze. And not the fun, drug-induced kind. Clyde got attacked. He's not the shapeshifter.
Carlos's energy is weird.
Layla said this is where it happened, but I don't see any signs of Clyde or where he was taken.
Well, if you want to know what kind of shapeshifter we're dealing with, there's only one with green blood. A mimic. They're only vulnerable to weapons made out of copper.
You mean literally the only metal I don't have in my van?
You're kidding, right?
I think I might know where we can get some. I mean, the plumbing back at the motel is made out of copper, so we could use that to make weapons.
Guys, I don't think we're dealing with a mimic. This isn't blood. It looks like sap to me. These purple flowers, I've never seen anything like them. I'd have to check the lore, but perhaps they're connected.
I appreciate you kicking the tires on this one, Lotta, but we finally have an ID on this monster. John, take the hippies van, get back to the motel, and grab those pipes. Let's track this thing down.
Yeah, no, it's not a mimic. Ooh, I think that was a bad decision that you just made.
Plata?
We found this flower. I don't know, maybe it's stupid, but laid on me. Purple, 8 petals.
Oh, is she gonna be the
Short,
Bobby?
spiky, and there's a sap. Dark green, tacky. Smells like
Bad
bad honey.
honey. It reminds me of a rare flower found in the remote regions of Colombia.
Regions of
Don't worry,
Colombia.
I packed like a ton of us.
Okay, but they were talking about Celtic. Okay, what are we doing, kids? Okay. That's spooky as hell.
Okay, will you just come out with it? And you're clearly mad at me. This is about me and Lotsa earlier, isn't it?
It's about you and everyone. You need to listen.
Well, I don't have time for that, especially when there's a monster out there putting people in danger.
Your dad never listened to you, right? And how did that make you feel?
Are we talking about emotions?
Lata, don't sneak up on us like that. We thought you were the mimic. Wait, are you the mimic?
No, we're not hunting a mimic. That's why I ran here. Her name is Latunda. According to Laura, she was a real woman once. A controlling and abusive mother who kept her children trapped in their home deep in the woods. And she punished them for their disobedience by chopping them up and using their remains to feed her flower garden.
Gross.
Now she preys on other disobedient children like her own and listens for them in the woods.
Barry said he told his girlfriend that he was going to stand up to his dad before he was taken. And Clyde did the same thing with Sister Bernadette.
And so did John.
He did.
If Latunda was listening, John could be in danger.
You're not even listening to me.
Of course I am.
Look, I wish that you believed in me. Okay, I can do this.
Who are you trying to convince, John? Deep down, you know it's your dad that never believed in you. We both know that if he really wanted you to follow in his footsteps, he would have stayed, trained you to be a part of the Men in Letters, like he was, but he didn't.
We're done here.
Not yet. I know it's painful, especially after hearing all those stories about Samuel training your new friend, Mary.
It's just funny. Because I don't remember telling you about Samuel. Oh, but I do remember this one poker tip they gave me.
I'm not a mimic either.
Move faster, boys and girls. I mean, John's fine.
Latunda's an abusive parent gone mad. She's been preying on children for centuries, feeding and becoming more powerful. It says her heart is the only part of her that's vulnerable. Legend says it has to be pierced by a piece of magic as strong as her.
You want us to use her own leg to stab her in the heart and kill her?
You said it, not me.
Okay, let's say we can make this work. We still don't even know where to find her.
I think I might.
There was a time when I was proud of you, son. But now when I look at you, all I see is disappointment.
Dad, don't do this.
Just leaving that other guy?
Shouldn't have disobeyed
That was
him, John.
stupid. Why would you wait? Why wouldn't you run? Oh, you're bad at fighting.
Come on, John. You think you can stand up to me? You don't have it in you. It's time to teach you a little respect.
Okay, I'll help John. You guys say Barry. Feeding time's over.
You can't hurt me. You're still just the helpless little boy whose father left because he didn't believe in you.
I just need to believe in myself.
She's supposed to be like made of wood?
Nice shirt.
Okay. Way to tonally shift out of that kill.
Wanna introduce me to your friend?
This is Mary.
It's nice to meet you, Miss Winchester.
Call me Millie. John.
Wait, before you tear into me, can I go first? I thought that I was angry at you for not believing me, but I wasn't. I was angry at Dad, and I did what I always do, which is I took out on you what I can't take out on him.
The day that picture was taken, your dad and I got into a fight. But Your dad and I had this rule. Whenever we fought, no matter how bad it got, we had to find a way to tell each other after, I love you. The last fight we had, the day he walked out the door, you know what? Neither of us stopped to tell each other. We're always gonna have our fights. And I'm always gonna worry about my baby. But I'm never gonna let you walk out that door again without telling you I love you.
How did this emotionally intelligent woman raise someone who is so emotionally constipated? What a horrible thing to do to anyone and a book.
So, did you finally get your parent off your back?
Not even close. I'm sorry we didn't find your dad.
We got a monster off the board. I call that a win too.
I think I have a lead on the box. There's more to the clubhouse than you may have guessed. I'll give you a full tour later. Not the kind you're thinking, those will kill you in seconds.
Carlos.
I brewed a potion to tap into my subconscious so I could access the echo of any remaining portion of the demon that possessed me.
That sounds awful.
The demon that possessed me is dead. But he knew the demon that attacked you all, and they both knew about the box, so if we can find that demon...
We might be able to get some answers. And the Agrita.
And my father.
Not everything is about you, Mary.
While I am loving this conversation, I would just like to point out that we still have some pizza waiting for us.
So,
I love Carlos. They are awesome. They are truly, truly awesome. Oh. What are we doing? What are we doing? What the fuck? Are those supposed to be the Agrita or are those something else? Oh my god. Okay. Interesting. Okay. What have we learned? So it was a monster of the week. Very little big bad. Except for that last little end bit that was spooky. Very interesting that the premise is kind of parent-child relations and what the abusive ones are. That's a very interesting theme to address in this particular universe. Again, it's very interesting that they decided that the big theme they were going to address in episode 2 of the John and Mary story was specifically parental dynamics and how complicated parental dynamics are. But that specifically looking at when those relationships become toxic, when they become abusive, when they become a problem. Because while I firmly believe that this series is going to be a John apology, like a John apologist series, where it will kind of justify and explain why all of John's terrible behavior was reasonable and acceptable, and we should just, he did the best with what he had. No, he didn't. He abandoned his kids in a motel. I think it's interesting that they're sort of setting up these things and talking about these issues that are going to play out or going to be relevant to John specifically going forward. Because again, all of this is just really reinforcing the idea that this timeline is going to get erased or altered or something. It's literally going to be these were very important life lessons that John learned, and then the higher ups, i.e. the angels or the Ahita or whatever greater power that be that changes his memory later on, these important lessons were forgotten, and therefore John Winchester is fundamentally fucked. Now, granted, I'm probably just reading into this. There's only 2 episodes that I've watched, but that be the vibe. I'm excited to see more of the Men of Letters bunkers, because apparently that greenhouse is kind of part of that bunker, which is cool, but also with what space? Where? They still haven't really addressed the whole they didn't like each other bit, and maybe, again, it's possible that was just forgotten about by the creators, and I'm just holding on to a nugget of information that is irrelevant. But I still think it would have been more interesting. I think it would be significantly more interesting to watch John and Mary, like, go from slightly disgruntled companions to genuine friends, to people who actually give a fuck about each other, to people who are actually in love. I think that would have been a much more interesting journey. This whole, like, immediate flirty eye thing, I could take it or leave it. Again, still feels like Supernatural, especially with the Monster of the Week thing. We haven't had, like OG Supernatural with Monster of the Week. And the kind of later seasons where they do Monster of the Week, they do it badly. So this Monster of the Week feels good. It's not necessarily, like, peak Supernatural Monster of the Week, but it definitely feels close enough to it that it doesn't make me cringe. Very good, very interesting. I'm excited to see where they go from here. I'm waiting for the bits that get me right in the gut. Thanks for coming and watching. Thanks for hanging out. Come and hang out again. Like, subscribe, hit all the buttons, ring all the bells, do all the things. You guys know how to do the stuff. If you like listening to my voice, but you don't really care for these big long-form YouTube videos, feel free to follow me over on TikTok and or Instagram. I'm trying to get into the habit of also sharing my content from TikTok on Instagram. So far, I am consistently inconsistent, but who knows? Maybe if you follow, I will be more inclined to be consistent. Or you will be disappointed. Those are our two options. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Bye!